Hi everyone, I'm Chef Liron and
Coach Robbin.
We're here with Fit in the Kitchen today in the Blaise Bernstein School of Culinary Arts and the Stern Family Teaching Kitchen. And today we are going to talk a little bit around when you're doing a wellness reboot and you want to do a detox. So I'm going to let Robbin talk about it a little bit. And the important part is what you do before and after your detox. Not necessarily just the detox itself, but also how you continue and stay healthy after and don't go back to your old habits. So Robbin?
Yeah, so a common theme, right, when speaking to some clients, or maybe even your friends, they'll start a diet and they said, I can't wait to get off of this so I could just start drinking again, or so I could go to this one place again. So when we really use our thinking process and we think about what we're doing, we commit to this lifestyle and we're, allowing ourselves to reboot inside. And then all of a sudden we go back to the lifestyle that is going to cause us to repeat the same cycle again. So it's all about sustainability when we're talking about the lifestyle that you want to live before entering into a detox and then after a detox as well. So right here we have displayed calories. This is the whole entire meal for a day. It is 1,500 calories. So a lot of people, when they're rebooting or trying to lose weight or anything like that, resetting their metabolism, they'll choose 1,500 calories. Now, depending on your age, your gender, and your activity, 1,500 might be good or it might be too little. So, but the most important thing is just being able to see the portions and that this is 1,500 calories. So it does change depending on how you cook your foods and what cuts of meat you use as well. So right here for breakfast, we do have yogurt and then fresh fruit, and then we do have a plant-based protein shake with almond milk. So that's very low in calories. If you use whole milk from the cow, the calories go up, right?
Right.
Yes, including the fat as well. So you got to consider things about what you use in combination to your supplements. So then for a snack, right here, we have 2 rice cakes, some fresh avocado, and egg whites and spinach on top. And then we seasoned it with salt and pepper, which is delicious. And then for lunchtime, right, so this would be breakfast, this would be a snack. And then for lunchtime, we have plant-based edamame. So this is actually high in protein. And then you have your soybeans on top of that. A really great way to have oils is when it's unadulterated, so without cooking it. So you can put fresh olive oil on top of this and maybe some garlic, and that'll be a great way to repair your brain and just like get in healthy fats without it being cooked and changed. And then for snacks, we have also pistachios, right, combined with an apple. So that's surprisingly high in fiber. The shells, not the shells, you're not going to eat the shells, but the casing of the pistachios, it's high in fiber, so that's a good source. And then lastly, for dinner, we have chicken breast, and then we have bell pepper, and we mixed it with tomato sauce. And then going back to how you cook things, right? So there's many ways to cook your chicken breast. You can boil them, you can saute them with oil, you can fry them, right? So there's many different ways, and that's going to change the amount of calories that you're having for dinner. And then also the cuts, right, Liron? So you can have like dark meat, light meat, skin on or skin off. That's also going to change the amount of calories that you have. For this meal, we did just chicken breast, and then we combined it with the tomato sauce and the bell peppers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the chicken breast is only cooked with a tiny bit of olive oil. The secret to that is you may think that you need more olive oil or more fat to kind of let it release from the pan and not stick, but it's really sticking just because it's not cooked enough. So you heat up your oil and then you put the chicken breast on there. If it's sticking and you can't flip it, then it's not ready yet. You really want to let it cook until it's brown, and only then, once it releases itself from the pan, then you can flip it over and it'll be cooked perfectly. So if it's sticking and you're having trouble with it, it means you need to leave it on the pan just for a little longer. Just be patient.
Right, and so, this is kind of like the lifestyle that you want to live before entering into a detox. I think transitioning from a place where you're eating out high processed foods and then you're jumping into a detox right away, that's like a shock to the body system. Although detoxes are great, you gotta ask yourself why you're entering into one. And then later when you get out of a detox, how are you gonna introduce foods back into your system? Are you gonna go get fast foods, or are you gonna be very gentle on yourself and then reintroduce? And that's a good time too, after a detox, to reintroduce foods in and see how you react. Start with something, just one food item, right? So a mono diet. So maybe trying a fruit or a vegetable and see how you react to that. And then later trying rice, and then they're saying like, hey, like I bloat a little bit when I have that. And so you're learning about yourself. So knowledge is power, but when you learn about yourself, that's self-empowerment, and there's nothing better than that. So after a detox, it's a great time to reintroduce foods slowly. And another big thing is like dairy with individuals. So dairy, depending on your sources, if it's a good source, it could be great for you, but then later commercially made dairy sometimes will cause a reaction where you're inflamed, right? And also one thing we wanted to note with the meal prepping, so we use reusable trays. You can, as soon as you're done with this, you can bring it home and then package your food again. It's great to package your food every 3 to 4 days. It stays the freshest then, and then meal prep again. And then we use glass casing as well, because 2021, we really do have to focus on how we're going to help the environment. So we are using reusable casings, glassware, and so we're doing multiple things aside from just taking care of our own health, taking care of everything else as well. All right, so Liron, do you want to have any questions that you wanted to ask?
I think I'm good. And we're talking about this, and we're going to go over to a short PowerPoint as well, but I think it's important that people also aren't afraid of cooking the things at home. So the chicken breast, again, it's super easy, and then you put everything back into the pan with the sauce and everything. It's like the one pan. You started off with the olive oil and the chicken. You're using that same juices from the chicken back again when you're cooking it with the tomato sauce and the peppers. And the same thing with the pasta. So that's, it's edamame pasta. So it's like spaghetti, but it doesn't have the grain, so it's made out of the edamame. And then if you wanted to add a little bit of olive oil to it as well, you can just put it back into the pot a little bit and stir it all together. It'll help it loosen it up. So it's simple things. Also the eggs, you want to add to the eggs the spinach. That's what we have on it. You want to add the spinach to the eggs right at the end and kind of let them wilt a little bit before you add it on top. But it's easy things that you can do, and it doesn't have to be very time consuming. And even if you do want to eat out every now and then, that's fine. Just moderate it and try and still cook at home as much as you can.
Yeah, so you brought up time. So a lot of people will say they don't want to meal prep or whatever because it's just too time consuming. How long did this take us?
We're getting good at this. We prepped this whole meal in 30 minutes.
Yeah, or less actually, yeah.
It's probably less. Yeah.
Yeah, less. And we understand like if you have a family, it may take a little bit more. So we'll jump into the presentation and kind of talk about that, right? So meal prepping is like when you commit to eating well and it's a lifestyle. For me, the concept of like eliminating the amount of choices we have, it helps guide us to our North Star. When we have a lot of choices, it distracts us, right? We get pulled this way and that way. So when you set yourself a guideline, whether it's meal prep or you have like, hey, I won't have fried foods this month, or I won't have fried foods all throughout the week until whatever, Sundays, that kind of generates a place where you don't delineate so far away from your habits. So we're just going to go over some tips. So we'll go up there. It's an MP4 that's playing. All right. So the most important thing that you want to start off with is to talk to your family. I have a few clients who they were able to do the Whole30, if you guys have heard of that, the Whole30 with the entire family. And beyond just like talking to your family, they started a group chat and they started sending pictures of the food that they were eating. And surprisingly, as young as 14 years old, all the way to 50, the parents, they were all engaged in this. So the more people that are on board with what you're doing, the better. But I've also lived in environments where, hey, that person does not care, and so they want to go on and eat that thing. But if you can get one person involved at least, that's going to help you stay on track more often. So talk to your family and talk to them about what dishes are their favorite, what do they love eating, and so then you can begin meal planning from there. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of people will also say like, oh, what should I cook? I don't know what to eat, what's out there, what's healthy. We have something called Google, and you can actually reach in your phone and pull it out in your back pocket. But there's great things like Pinterest that have healthy recipes. You can look on something specifically for you. So if you're plant-based, if you're pescatarian, if you're gluten-free, there's a myriad of choices that you can go for. But just making sure that you insert a lot of whole foods, right? So nothing that comes in a lot of packages. You have vegetables and fruits in there as well. And then I met an individual once when I was working at a clinic, and it was the cutest thing. He was a firefighter, and he had 3 daughters, and he was like, I can't wait to get home today. It's Crock Pot Wednesday. And I was like, what are you talking about? So creating traditions within your family as well. Now there's a little bit of purpose to your nutrition and your eating. There's a little bit, it makes planning easier. So like meatless Mondays, Taco Tuesday, Crock Pot Wednesdays, so that it even refines exactly what you're going to do on those days. So what are your family traditions? I'm curious, and then sharing that and talking to other people and sharing so that we can get ideas as well. It allows you to look forward to it as well. He really loved Crock Pot Wednesdays because it took 0 effort. He just put everything in the crock pot. He went to go get therapy, and then when he was back home, everything was ready. So that's what makes it really exciting. So the next thing is to start small, right? So usually when people think meal prepping, for some reason they think I need a meal prep for 7 days. I actually owned my own meal prepping business when I was in junior college. And I find that when you meal prep 7 days, the food starts getting bad within like 4, right? Day 4 or so. The veggies aren't so fresh, especially when you're cooking with good ingredients. They'll go bad by then. So I usually now, I prep for 4 days, and I prep again after that for another 4 days. So start small, because you never know, what if you waste all the food that you cooked? You prep 7 days, and then weekend comes and you go out with a friend or 2, and then the meal's just sitting there and you toss it in the trash. Always start small, and then feel yourself out and begin refining from there. Let's see what else we have here. All right. Yeah, so dedicating your days out of the week for meal prepping. Personally, I like meal prepping on Sundays and again on Thursdays. Why? Is because Sundays I'll have it prepped all the way to Thursday. And by Thursday, my schedule usually changes, and then somebody will contact me and will want to have a business lunch. So by then I can just plan in my head, okay, so I'm going to prep for the next 4 days, but I know I'm going out to lunch so I can save food there. So pick designated days where you can meal prep. Maybe it's a day where you're at home for at least an hour or so. That'll really help you shop as well for the things that you need. Stocking up on staple ingredients. So this is where you can save a lot of money or time as well. The stock ingredients that, right here we have like yogurt and berries, and that does take some time to just put into a mason jar or whatever. But things that are really quick that you can stock up on are oatmeals. You can buy them bulk, and so your cost for meal prepping really decreases. For some reason, a lot of people believe that eating healthy is very expensive. It's actually the opposite. You save so much money by eating healthy. And plus the healthcare that you probably won't dip into in the future, you're saving a lot of money as well. And that's what we were just talking about. So automating your breakfast, making it super simple, like meal prepping. So overnight oats. I think we did that during one of our recordings. Did we? Yeah. So any of the meals that you don't have to stress over, right? Your snacks, it's just nuts. They come in a bag. And 2, like on days when I'm very busy and I don't have time to meal prep, I'll buy a bag of pre-made salad. Like it's okay. I'm not always going to chop my spinach and rinse them and wash them myself. I'm going to buy the ones that's pre-made because that week I'm just so busy. And then what do I have to do? I just portion them out into 4 little containers. and I'm good to go. So any of the things that you can automate, just think creatively and how you can make it easier. It's not as stressful as you think it is. Yes, having enough containers. So luckily they sell these containers. Where did you get these ones from?
They really have them in a lot of places, but like Smart and Final will have a lot of those bulk containers, and a lot of the stores are now really gearing towards meal prepping.
Yes.
And having those containers, and you know, these are reusable plastic ones, but places like Target and all those places are purposely selling meal prepping containers out of glass if you prefer those. So it's really depending on what you prefer, but all of these stores, everyone is really gearing more towards meal prepping now. So you can really find them anywhere you need.
I found mine from Target, and then there's like a little side that's like 1 cup and the other side's 2 cups, so it even says it in there, 1 cup and 2 cup. And then when I went to TJ Maxx, they were selling a bunch there as well. So when we were talking about environment, if you don't want to order online and have all that shipping, go to a store, Target, TJ Maxx, Smart and Final, they're all carrying it nowadays. So making sure that you have enough. Let's see, and then the last slide, that was it actually.
All right, so, and just another thing, also with the mason jars and stuff like that, you know, I've recently really started using the mason jars a lot more at home. You can get the smaller ones and put all your spices in them and be creative and make these like stands. You can use the bigger ones. I put my coffee in it and stuff like that and just have it out on the counter. Or I do the overnight oats. So it's really, you know, you can get a pack of like 12 and reuse them. It doesn't have to be the expensive mason jars. It can really be whatever you want. And well, one of the important reasons that we were talking also right now about this wellness reboot and doing a detox is because here at the J, we're doing a detox. And I'm going to be part of it. I'm going to try. I actually haven't done a detox before, but we'll see how it goes. And actually, if you want to go on the website, there's still time to sign up. It's going to be in February 8th. We're starting, okay? So the detox is going to give you 2 weeks worth of the powders for the shakes that you're going to use. That's 2 meals a day that you're going to be using. It's going to give you meal planning, tell you what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. And again, these are guidelines. You know, if you can't follow it completely, that's fine. If you need just a little bit for it to be good for you, that's okay. And of course, you want to pair that together with fitness. So you want to also keep on working out. So our detox is giving you a few options for working out. So you have different plans for working out depending on how many days you want a week. And price-wise, it's really great. It's really, you're basically just paying for the detox and you're kind of getting the workouts for free. So I would definitely go for it. You know, I love working out and I work out at least 2-3 times a week. And I think it's really important. It helps you feel better. You know, I was just telling Robbin earlier, I worked out only once a week for the past 2 weeks for whatever personal reasons, and it made me feel like kind of off. I need those workouts. It really helps for you. So anything else?
Not too much. I guess we covered it all. If there's any questions that are coming in, let us know. Is there any questions coming through? We're good. Everyone is great. Alrighty, guys. I hope this recording really helped you guys plan before you go into detox, but also to integrate into healthy lifestyle living after your detox as well. So it's all about sustainability.
And then if you have any questions, you can write it in the chat later on. Our video is going to be on. And if there's any meals that you want to like, foods that you want to know if you can use or can't use, you can please send questions. We'll be happy to answer. And we're done.
Yeah.
So have a good weekend, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.